Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Amadeus.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Amadeus.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Amadeus Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Amadeus Shakur, and this is your daily vitamin. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, I want to thank each of you for tuning in. Christopher says your work is more important than ever, Queen. We're here to support you. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you all. And, I apologize for being so late, okay? Now, mind you, I just got back in town because we buried my grandfather today. My grandfather was 92 years old. He lived a full life, and he is gone on to glory. Okay, and he is in a better place than we clearly are, as far as I'm concerned. So with that all being said, now I'll tell you all a bit about the funeral tomorrow. Because when I tell you guys, if you ever saw that movie with Chris Rock, Nene said not in monkey business. If you ever saw that movie with Chris Rock, and I can't remember who else was in it, I think Martin Lawrence, called Kingdom Come. That's what the funeral, some of the things that happened after the funeral, shall I say, and even during, that's what it reminded me of. Okay? And specifically some of the things that happened before with the family. Okay? So we're going to talk about that tomorrow just a little bit, just to give you all some kicks and giggles. But with that all being said, thank you, beloved. Thank you for your condolences. Thank everybody for their condolences. He made it to be 92. Made it to be 92, and that's a full life because my grandmother, his wife, she died when she was only 47. Okay, my grandmother died when I was a child. Okay, so now with that all being said, let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so listen, Trump is up to nefariousness, and we have got to talk about it. Okay, I couldn't wait to get back on here. Okay, I was so mad yesterday because I left town yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I left town yesterday after I did the live. Okay, I left right after that, and so it was, it was on my nerves so bad when I started hearing that Trump and Caroline Levitt were lying about that racist post. Caroline Levitt, okay, what did she come out and say? She came out and lied and said that, well, she said that it was from the Lion King movie. Okay, that's what she said. And then they ended up posting a video where, okay, she claims that she claims that the post came from a clip about the Lion King movie where Trump is depicted as the Lion King and other politicians are depicted as other animals, right? And then so they showed a video, which I'm sure they made with AI after the fact, in my opinion. Maybe it was before, but who cares? Bottom line is they had somebody, it might have been Bill Clinton or somebody, was a zebra. But here's the thing. If that even were true, which I don't think it is, but if it were, why are the black people the monkeys? Because we know that is a name that they've used to disparage us, right? So why would you call the black people monkeys? Or why would you make them the images of monkeys? Also, there was no monkeys in the Lion King. There was no monkeys in the Lion King that I recall. Does anybody remember monkeys in the Lion King? So first of all, here's how we know they're lying. Here's the proof they're lying. Because Carolyn Levitt first came out and said that this was a clip from the Lion King, whatever. Okay. And she didn't deny that Trump did it. She didn't say that Trump did or didn't do it. But then they come out and say that a White House staffer did it. I knew they were going to blame it on someone else. I knew that. I knew it. I was pretty sure of it. So they came out and said a White House staffer did it, right? Well, here's the thing. Did y'all fire that staffer? And who is this staffer? And are we going to see this staffer? Are you going to march them out of the White House? Are you going to drag them kicking and screaming out of the White House like y'all did Omarosa? Like y'all did Omarosa during Trump's first term? Because y'all dragged that lady. She might be a raccoon, but the bottom line is they dragged her out of the White Office, or out of the White House. Okay? So I have questions. Where is this phantom person? Well, there is no person. Person that posted that was Trump. And here's the thing. How you know they're full of BS? Because if somebody that was a staffer did that, you would think that they would be livid, that they would be so mad that you did something so racist that's going to make the entire administration look bad. But not only that, you were next to privileged information because you would have had to have used Trump's own personal accounts to make that post because that's where it came from. Okay? With that all being said, how did you get access? How did you get access? That's right, 59 popping. The staffer was Trump. Okay, convince me with it. Oh my God, that man is such a liar and so insidiously obtuse. At the end of the day, well, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, but we're going to get into it because if you all remember, I found out something very interesting. If you all remember, I played for you the audio of Sasha Riley, who Sasha Riley says that he was assaulted by Trump on at least 3 occasions, 2 that he remembers specifically, 1 that is a little flaky. He can't really remember everything. Maybe he was rugged. But Sasha basically, you know, said that Trump wanted to kill people. This is all alleged, mind you. But he said that when Trump first came in, he wanted to immediately start killing people. If y'all remember, I think I played that part for you all. It's talking about he wanted to kill people, and they told him that's not this kind of party. But here's what I want you to pay attention to. I went back and listened to the audio again, and I realized that I didn't notice this at first, but Sasha said it was a party at a farm. He said it was a party at a farm, and they told him this and that kind of party. And I thought about it. Wait a minute. What farm? And then I remembered a story that I did on my true crime channel, if I'm not mistaken, about this pig farmer in British Columbia who would have these parties and who would also bring women there to kill them. Okay, a whole serial killer. And there were supposedly politicians and all kind of people at those parties. So I'm pretty sure that might be the party that he was talking about on the farm. But nonetheless, other things corroborate, in my opinion, what Sasha Riley has said and also what other victims have also alleged. So Trump needs to sit down somewhere is what he needs to do. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Also, before we get into the Trump stuff, let's talk about Michelle Obama, because here's the reason why Trump posted that racist post. Here's why he did it. You see, Trump is angry. We know that he's always been jealous of President Obama, but also found out that Trump is upset, really, in my opinion, this is why he's upset, because Melania's documentary came out. We all know her documentary came out and it was a flop. It only made $7 million after they spent $70 million, I think Amazon did, to make it. Okay, so flop. Now, with that being said, people on TikTok who don't like Trump, they said, you know what? Let's watch Michelle Obama's documentary, okay? Becoming. Came out about what, 4 to 6 years ago? So they said, let's start watching that. Now, I'd already seen it, but I said, you know what? I'm going to watch it again. And I'm just going to have it running in the background while I'm doing other stuff. Like if, while I'm down here talking with family or whatever, I'll just put it on my phone. Because they'll still get because I can get Netflix on my phone, the app. So this is what a lot of people started doing, started rewatching the documentary, and they had been doing this for days. I didn't know this until like yesterday. So they had been watching that documentary. So they got it to trend, okay, all the way up to the top 10. It was number 6. Then it went to number 4. And guess who's mad? And why is he mad? Because Melania's a whole flop. Okay, and because people specifically did it because they don't like him. That's what he did. I'm pretty sure he did this. This is alleged. But I think Trump is the person behind the fact that Netflix took Michelle's documentary from the adult category and put it in the children's category. Why would it be in a children's category? They ranked it at number 4 in the children's category. They took it out and stopped it from trending in the adults category. So now we might have to boycott Netflix. Now we might have to boycott Netflix because people are mad. Okay, people are very upset. And then also, Trump has something going on with Netflix too. I think he donated money to them. I think he wants to be a part of them. Hold on, let me just double check. He wants to be in control of all this stuff, and I want you all to pay attention. And also, someone did a video saying that Trump is compromised. Well, I know he's compromised. That stuff that I know, that I didn't tell y'all all of the story, yeah, that lets me know he's definitely compromised. He sold us out. Okay? He sold us out, period. Listen to this. According to a White House financial disclosure form that was released in January of 2026, Donald Trump purchased at least $1 million in Netflix bonds. Specifically, 2 purchases over $502,000 each in December of 2025. He just did this like a couple of months ago. The investment occurred shortly after Netflix announced a major deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery assets. Trump wants in on the grift. Or it's not a grift for them, but for him it is. Now, in my opinion. Now, with that all being said, so now that he owns some stock in Netflix, well, you don't think he's the one that called and got them to stop it? He just gave them $1 million. Of course he did. Allegedly. Okay? Of course he did. Allegedly. Above all that drama, said, I am dropping Netflix as you speak, Queen. I am done. I'm done too, unless they put it back up. Now, I think they've missed the deadline because people said we were going to give them a deadline of 48 hours, and I think the deadline was up tonight at some point. So after this live, I'm going to have to cancel it too. They didn't put it back where it's supposed to be. And I'm going to go to some videos of people talking about it, and because this is all real crazy. Then we're going to get into Trump. We're going to get into Trump. Okay, please pay attention. Now, before I get to that, let me go to this video, this TikTok I did yesterday. I don't know if you all saw it, but the TikTok I did about Trump and what he had to say about the Obamas with that monkey picture and all of that, with his hate and jealous self. So ridiculous.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Shakur. So your president, Donald J. Trump, posted a very disrespectful video, supposedly depicting Michelle and Barack Obama. Let's get into it. I'm not surprised, and none of us should be, because we all know that Trump has always been so jealous and envious of President Barack Obama, and rightfully so. I mean, look at him, and then look at President Obama. I mean, he's literally everything that Trump never could be. He's handsome, intelligent, educated, well-spoken, charismatic, has a lovely wife. Trump has a lovely wife. Melania is lovely, in my opinion, but sadly, she's with Trump. Okay, so there's that. Okay, please pay attention. Then posting a video depicting them as primates, something that has historically been viewed as disparaging to people who look like me. I think that any of the people who look like me that call themselves MAGA, you need to wake up, okay? Because if everything else that's going on around you didn't wake you up and snap you back into reality, into real life things, into seeing who people really are,
then that certainly should have. Because I can guarantee you, if he thinks that about Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, what do you think he thinks of the rest of us? Okay, please make it all make sense. As many times as Trump's name appears in the Epstein files and all of those nefarious, despicable allegations that have been levied and waged against him in the documents, I would think that he has a whole lot of other things to concern himself with, least of all President Barack Obama, wouldn't you? But at the end of the day, I guess he's just still obsessed after all this time. Bottom line is, Trump needs to be trying to figure out what he's going to do about midterms, okay? Because it's not looking good for him. Now, I know he's trying to nationalize the elections, and we all know why he's trying to do that, okay? I mean, desperate times calls for drastic measures, do they not? Please pay attention. He's clearly desperate. Another thing I can say is this, at the end of the day, there's never been mass crowds of people all over this country outside protesting against President Barack Obama. Okay, that certainly never happened. There has not been people just booing him when he walks into a room. And as a matter of fact, until this day, when he walks into rooms, people will cheer, okay, and scream his name. But when Trump walks into the room, they boo. I wonder why. And I'm going to say this in closing, and this is absolutely facts. People who are happy with themselves and with their lives, what they don't do is go around being hateful, being disrespectful, okay, and doing nefarious things to other people, okay, and basically being obsessed, okay, obsessing over other people that they're envious of. That's what happy people don't do. So it's funny to me that Trump's made over $1 billion in the year that he's been in office thus far, but yet he still has time to be worrying himself and concerning himself with President Obama. Okay, that to me speaks volumes. Okay, please pay attention. Now, you've made all this money. You should be happy. Okay, you're in charge, unfortunately. Okay, but he's he's miserable. He's still miserable. Okay, that's why he's still mad and hating on President Obama. It's really sad and pathetic. Now, let's go to these TikTokers talking about Michelle documentary.
The originator of this whole becoming to the top spot has posted, and given the demands for Netflix, I'm going to tag her in this video. Here's what it is. Starting at 7 p.m. today, it's 9:32 where I'm at. So 2.5 hours ago, here were the demands. We're only going to stream Becoming on Netflix for the next 48 hours. They have until Friday the 6th at 7 p.m. to put Michelle Obama back in the top 10. And if that has not happened by Friday at 7 p.m., we are canceling our Netflix subscriptions. You guys say you want to know when, where, what are we doing? That's what we're doing. I went ahead and privated my social experiment. Friends only can see it because I don't want to take away from the actual movement, what we're doing. We're supposed to be together in solidarity. We're still streaming Becoming for the next 48 hours. Netflix has to put it back in the top 10. Or else 7 p.m. Friday the 6th, we will be canceling our Netflix subscriptions. All right, y'all, we got orders, 92% lock in.
Okay, so Netflix is probably already canceled because I just got home like a couple of hours ago and got ready to start this live. I haven't gone to see if they put it back up. If they haven't, they're out of here, period. Okay, now let's go to this video. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. I appreciate you. Here we go.
Hey, Donald and them so much. The weekend that Melania Trump's documentary came out, the views on Michelle Obama's documentary went up by 13,000%. Like, I think people just collectively understood the assignment. As soon as Melania's documentary got released in the theaters, they were like, we are going to run up Becoming, and that they absolutely did. Amazon has spent $75 million producing Melania and advertising it, and it only made $7 million in its first weekend at the box office. And honestly, that's why they're really mad, because Melania, she could never generate the love, the intellect that Michelle Obama just radiates. Like, sorry, you will never be that. Y'all, people hate Donald and them so much.
Okay, so now with that all being said, here's the thing. Yeah, they do hate them so much. Well, specifically Trump. Melania to me is problematic because she never really even says anything. Okay, and we can tell if we're looking and paying attention that she doesn't even like Trump. Okay, she doesn't even like Trump. We've seen her, when he's tried to hold her hand, she snatches her hand away. She clearly does not want to be bothered with him. Okay, clearly. So with that all being said, here's the thing. Now take a look at this. Take a look at this. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, now see this right here. It says becoming, and then it has Michelle Obama documentary or whatever, right? Has all the information about it and everything or whatever. Now, that's interesting because this is what somebody posted. Somebody posted this, I want to say, was it a couple of days ago? Hold on, let me see. Let me see when they posted this. 2 days ago. But here's what they said happened 2 days ago. Now her documentary is back up on Google. If you Google it, it shows it's a documentary and what it's about and everything. But here's what was happening 2 days ago, supposedly, because this TikToker did a video about it. I want y'all to check this out. The shadow banning and the hate is real. You all need to pay attention that, when you're talking about certain things or people are trying to have certain movements, they can easily stifle your growth or stop the movement or try to hinder the movement by simply shadow banning people. Now check this out, what he has to say.
Need to know who did our girl Michelle Obama dirty like this. So I searched up her documentary, typed in her name, Michelle Obama, and then when I saw the suggestion for her film come up, clicked on it. Scroll down, and when you get to the description for her movie Becoming, it's listed as a horror movie, and it has the description of a horror movie that also came out in 2020 called Becoming.
Do y'all see that? Do y'all see what they did right there? Do y'all see what they did right there? So he's saying that they put up a horror movie that's called Becoming, to confuse people, I guess, or just to stop traffic to it or whatever. But that's what they put, a horror movie. Ha! It's all so crazy. And then, like Netflix, this is what they said. He says Google did. But with Netflix taking the movie out of trending for adults content and put it in children's content where it's ranked number 4, first of all, we know that's a lie. How is it ranked number 4 amongst children? Children are not watching, an adult documentary about Michelle Obama. Okay, this is all so crazy. But I want you all to pay attention because another thing is, I told you all about Bill Clinton. That whole thing with Bill and Hillary Clinton, how Trump was not going to want to testify. Because I said, now that leaves the door open for him to have to testify, and he don't want to do it. And also, he doesn't know if Bill Clinton and Hillary are going to get up there and say something about him. So now all of a sudden he comes out, oh, I like Bill Clinton. I'm sorry, I'm so mad. People are coming after him. But guess who said the same exact thing? Okay, almost verbatim. Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel said the same thing. Okay, I'm going to play the audio.
Clinton, a president, has agreed to testify under oath. He wants to do it on camera, no less, puts pressure on him to testify under oath, which he very much does not want to do. So he has to distance himself from this. He's like, oh, why are they going after Bill Clinton? There's no they. They are your lickers of boot. They are chaired by this guy.
Donald Trump has answered thousands of questions from the American public.
Yeah, well, I'm sure then he wouldn't mind answering those same questions under oath, right?
Okay. No, he don't want to have to answer questions under oath. He doesn't want to have to answer questions under oath. And I want you all to pay attention to something. How you know his MAGA mans are so insidiously obtuse is because, and he knows they are. So because he tells them blatant lies that the rest of us know are lies, because we know, because we do the research, or at least you watch people who do the research. Okay, and not even just me. Other people do the research as well. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, Donald Trump is so full of BS. He gets on live and tells his people, oh, they didn't find anything on me. It's absolved me. And some of them believe it because I saw them going in on people who were doing videos about Trump's, dealings with Epstein and whatnot. And they were like, oh, he's been absolved. He didn't do anything. He was not even there. What? Did y'all not read the emails or the emails? The hell are you talking about? But see, these are idiots who don't research and they don't read. They're stupid. They don't even have not only book sense do they lack in, but they don't even have common sense. And they definitely forget about any hope of them having the least amount of critical thinking skills. So yeah, they believe everything he says. Okay? I want y'all to pay attention. These people are complete idiots. Complete and utter idiots. Okay? So with that all being said, they definitely are not going to believe anything that Sasha Riley had to say about Trump. Okay, that's what they're not going to do. But here's something important. How many of you, please put ones in the chat. Okay, please put ones in the chat. How many of you watched the broadcast that I did days ago about Sasha Riley when I played the audio and you remember him talking about Trump murdering puppies, wanting to murder people, but they told him that's not this kind of party. Now, this pig farm was that kind of party because they did kill women there. The guy's been sentenced to prison, all that, this pig farmer. If this is the same farm, I don't know. I'm going to try to verify that tonight, and talk about it tomorrow. But I think it may be the same farm that was in British Columbia. That's what I'm thinking. And I also have some information from one of the witnesses or one of the victims who was actually at that farm. We're going to have all this discussion tomorrow. Okay. So I want you all to pay attention. But here's the thing. One's in the chat, so you all remember that he said something about Trump killing puppies. Okay, great. For those of you who don't remember, I'm going to play some of the audio again. And then I'm going to show y'all something that's absolutely nefarious. Okay? I'm going to show y'all something that's absolutely nefarious that pretty much to me further corroborates what Sasha Riley said. Let's get into it. Now, once again, this is Sasha Riley's voice you're going to be hearing, and this is the part where he's talking about those puppies, for anybody who missed it.
After one of the puppies' necks, he cut one open and let it just howl and writhe in pain while it died. Held one under some water to kill it. He wanted to kill those puppies in whatever gruesome way, to experience, I guess, seeing them suffer in different ways. What his kink is, I guess, if you want to call it that, is watching people suffer. He likes to destroy people physically, mentally during the process of the assault. That's why he stands out so much in my memory. And it's physical pain, and then it's also degrading and all of that. But his thing.
Okay, so I'm not going to play the whole thing because we've already heard it, but that's for anyone who missed it. But I just wanted to bring you back to that, and now this is what I want to show you. It says that TikTok removed the location. Now, do you all remember, they said Elon, was it Elon or Zuckerberg? They said somebody else had removed the location too when they were looking up some stuff, okay? But anyway, here's what they say. Hold on. Let me just look at something real quick. Okay, so they had a Great Gatsby themed Halloween party in Mar-a-Lago Friday, October the 31st of 2025. Now, the reason I looked this up is because I was trying to see what was the last party, or when was the last party they had, right? Okay. Now let's get into it. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I tell you all, hold on, where did my comments go? Where the hell is my comments? They're on the screen. How did they get on the screen? Hold on. Hold on. How did that happen? Hold on, beloveds. I'm trying to get my comments back in the chat. There y'all go. Okay. So listen, let me tell y'all how the Most High be working for me or with me, right? I got a receipt. Just now I typed in something and I got a whole receipt to show y'all just now. I didn't have it before. We're going to get to that receipt, but I'm going to show you this receipt that I already had first. Now, like I told you, I just typed in when was the last party at Mar-a-Lago, okay? Because this video that the person posted was posted January the 15th. So I was wondering the time frame of the party. But check this out. Now, I have muted the volume. I have muted the audio because they're playing music. But just watch the scenery. Just pay attention. It says, party at Mar-a-Lago past weekend. Trump was present and spoke at the event. Y'all see that dog? Do y'all see that Siberian Husky, a person dressed like a dog? Do y'all see this person dressed like a dog? It's a Halloween party, supposedly. But why are people dressed like dogs? Why are people dressed like dogs? Why is everybody dressed like dogs? And why did TikTok allegedly remove the location tag? Look at that. Look at that. Why is everybody dressed like dogs? But guess what? That's not even the worst of it. Because like I told you, when I just typed in on Google to see when was the last party, this came up. Trump's Mar-a-Lago furry party leaked video stun all. Eerie dog mask pictures leaked by Gavin Newsom. Shout out to Gavin Newsom. Because I was wondering how the video got leaked. I knew it had to be somebody either in a position of power or somebody who was there, because somebody who was there maybe sent it to Gavin Newsom. So let's get into it. This looks like a full video, not just a little clip that I just showed. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, hold on, let me see what publication this is so I know if I need to use a E-Times. E-Times, I don't know if I'm going to, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to use an overlay. Just to be on the safe side. Now check this out. Let's get into it.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has ignited fresh controversy after sharing eerie images from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort showing dinner guests wearing animal masks at a lavish red carpet event. The photos, circulated by Newsom's press office on X, were accompanied by a pointed caption asking, "Why is Donald Trump hosting a furry party?" A jab that instantly reignited political tensions between the Democratic governor and the former president, according to posts reviewed on X and Instagram. The images were taken during the American Humane Society's 15th annual Hero Dog Awards Gala, a fundraising event held at Trump's Florida resort.
Okay, now that makes sense because it was for the Humane Society. But hold on, let's go back to these posts. Hold on. It says, "Is this a costume party?" Somebody said, eyes wide shut type ish. Right in our faces, eat the rich. Somebody said, seems kind of woke. Now, here's the thing. You all let me know what you think about it. Now, do you all think that it makes sense that they dressed up like dogs because it was about dogs in the Humane Society? Because it still doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it could be plausible, right? It's definitely plausible. But why would people need to dress up like dogs? Because it's a thing for the Humane Society. Okay, I'm sorry. I think it has something to do with him killing dogs. Okay, because that wasn't the last time allegedly that he did that. But let's continue.
And Instagram. The latest in a growing list of public jabs aimed at Trump by the California governor and his communications team, according to archived social media posts. While Mar-a-Lago is available to rent for private events, questions quickly emerged about Trump's involvement. According to reporting from Florida Weekly Palm Beach, Trump arrived in South Florida later that evening, but still made a brief appearance at the gala. Video shared by Kelly Henry, a senior editor at the publication, shows Trump addressing the crowd, though it remains unclear whether he donated to the fundraiser or simply stopped by.
I wonder why he wasn't dressed like a dog. Because trust me, that would have been a much better look than he usually walks around in. Don't you think? Okay, now with that all been said, I didn't know it was for the Humane Society, so maybe it was just about dogs and that's why they did it. But still, that's a little sketchy to me because why do y'all need to dress up like damn dogs? Okay, make it make sense. All right, make it make sense. Now, with that all being said, another thing is Sasha Riley also said, and I didn't hear this when I was previously listening to his videos, but hold on, let's go to this other puppy video because it actually has some emails in here. It says puppies were the bells of the ball. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this first. I want you all to see this. Here we go. Now, this says puppies were the bells of the ball and had a great time. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention.
At one point, him asking the people that were kind of running that party or whatever it was at that.
That email was from 2014. That email was from 2014. Puppies were the belle of the ball. So did they have puppies at another party? Okay, just pay attention. That's what further makes me think now that humane stuff, them dressing like dogs, is something subliminal. Okay, but this is Sasha Riley talking. Okay, so let's keep listening. Meanwhile, your puppies will have a ball. Tell them to come to the after party. They are all invited. All attendees are. They'll have fun there. Okay, sorry, I won't be at your dinner. Take care of my puppies, because not looking great. The information contained in this communication is confidential. Not only is life a biatch, it has puppies. From Epstein, sent March the 10th of 2014 at 4:11 p.m. Sorry, I won't be at your dinner. Okay, take care of the puppies. This one is from March the 2014. The one saying sorry won't be at your dinner. So I want you all to pay attention. All this stuff was going on in 2015, 14. So what is this thing they have about puppies? But anyway, let's continue.
Farm. He wanted to kill somebody. He wanted to murder somebody. And they said, hey, that's not this kind of party. You can't do that. And they, in lieu of doing that, they said, well, we've got some puppies. If you just want to kill something, we've got to get rid of them anyway. So I can remember him taking those puppies one by one, and like he snapped one of the puppies' necks. He cut one open and let it just howl and writhe in pain while it died. Held one under some.
I don't even want to listen to any more of it. Just very disgusting. Okay, and this further makes me agree with that psychologist who said Trump was a malignant narcissist. Malignant narcissists like seeing people and things suffer. They like inflicting pain. They like doing harm. Okay, so I absolutely believe it. Now, with that all been said, here is something I found interesting. Because in one of the Sasha Riley tapes, Sasha allegedly said that Epstein actually worked for Trump and that Trump was the ringleader, the mastermind. Please pay attention. Let's go to the footage.
One of his accusers, Sasha, is now saying that he actually was the ringleader and Epstein worked for him. That actually makes a lot more sense. Sasha says that he killed puppies. He's always said a lot of things about dogs. He lost like a dog. Makes a lot more sense now why he was always going on about dogs in a negative, like calling people dogs. I mean, to me, I know how he means it, but a dog isn't an insult. A dog is, I love my dog. I like a lot of dogs as much or more than I like some people. Being a dog isn't like a bad thing. I mean, I know that, you ain't nothing but a dog. Like, I know the context, but the way he talks about dogs, and then to hear that he was involved in it's believable. That's the problem. And apparently he was making some of his victims engage in these fight clubs where they would fight until there was only one survivor. I mean, we watch these movies, these like dystopian, crazy movies about these islands of horrific events that take place, and it's all run by rich people, and they bring people there unsuspectingly, and then it turns into this horror show. And it turns out that's actually what Epstein Island was. It was real, and it was happening under our noses, more or less, happening for years. So it's no wonder that they're not honoring the Epstein Transparency Act. Apparently, Epstein isn't the name that should be on it, and there's no way that they're ever going to voluntarily give us transparency into the horrendous things that he has done. Not only him, but him. Like, I literally don't see that happening. They're not going to release it voluntarily. They've already released a lot. They've already released a lot of documents strategically. They released things that created confusion, that created more questions, that don't paint a full picture. He literally said he was going to release the Democrats' crimes. He was going to release pictures of Democrats, footage of Democrats, and not Republicans. That is what the Epstein Transparency Act compels him to do. But he knows that if he just releases the whole thing, he's cooked.
Yeah, if everybody finds out what the hell he's been doing, allegedly been doing, okay, how's that going to go? But here's another thing. She said Trump talked about dogs in a negative light. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it, because I just looked it up. I just looked it up just now. Here's what it says. I looked it up. I typed in, does Trump have a dog? I spelled does wrong. I put D-I-O-S because I was in a hurry. But I said, does Trump have a dog? Now, the reason I typed this in is because we know that the presidents usually have a dog in the White House or some pet. The Obamas had a dog, if y'all remember. So I typed in, does Trump have a dog? It says most United States presidents have kept pets while in office, or pets have been a part of their families. Only James K. Polk and Andrew Johnson and Donald Trump did not have any presidential pets while in office. Okay? However, Johnson did take care of some mice that he found in his bedroom. First of all, what are mice doing in the White House? Okay? But no, doesn't have a dog. So he probably doesn't like him, just like she said. And clearly, like Sasha said, if he killed him. Okay? But here is my friend Isaac Cappy, who's now deceased. They claim that he deleted himself when he already said that they were going to take him out, that they were trying to take him out. Okay? Please pay attention. All nefarious.
They get the children.
Isaac Cappy put himself in danger to reveal this information. Someone says, don't worry, Isaac, your message has been heard and we are watching. His videos being suppressed, repost and share. Yeah, they are being suppressed. And let me just tell you all something. See, I was already going in hard in the paint on this stuff about child trafficking. For those of you who follow me, you know that I've always talked about this for years. Even before I got on YouTube, I was on Facebook talking about this. This has always been near and dear to my heart, okay? And I told you all that I was almost trafficked and a friend of mine was. And I was supposed to be with her. Now, back in the day when that happened, I didn't even know anything about trafficking. Okay, I didn't know anything about trafficking, and I didn't even know that's what almost happened to me until years later. And I was like, that's what that was. Okay, but also because people like Isaac Cappy keep coming up deceased when they talk about these things. Okay, so please pay attention.
Where do all these children come from? Well,
Now, mind you, let me just say that Isaac was on a live when he was saying this. So when you see him talking like that, he's reading the comments, okay, and responding to them.
it has a lot to do with illegal immigration. The porous border on our southern border, the poorest, and actually Canada, there's a weird loophole. Maybe someone can share a link about that story, about the loophole up in Canada. Well, I don't remember the story exactly, but let's just focus on the southern border. So the southern border, there are so many unaccompanied minors that just they come up, they get snatched up, they get sold off. Yeah, sad. Yes, and foster care. Guys, foster care is a huge CPS. It is a huge scam. It's a huge scam. There's this woman named Nancy Schaefer who, at least she's from Georgia, and she was investigating child trafficking through the CPS, and she got murdered. And I believe that was in 2010.
She did get
Where
murdered.
do they get?
She did get murdered. That was here in Georgia, and it was around 2010, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? Child trafficking at the U.S. border, the southern border. That's no surprise because I already told you all about all those migrant children who came up missing during Biden's own administration. There's no telling how many have come up missing during Trump's administration because we do know that they're abducting kids, snatching them up, ICE is, and taking them to detention centers. And we don't know what exactly is happening to them. They're not with their parents. All of these kids aren't. At the end of the day, some of these children have allegedly died. I told you all the story the other day, or I showed you the video where someone told the story about a kid being found dead in the detention center, and he had rats DNA in his stomach. And he was like, were they feeding him this? Is this the only way he could survive? Or were they forcing him to eat it? All sick. All so sick. Okay? Now, with that all being said, let's continue because now, and I got some information that I got to fact check about Erica Kirk too. I got to fact check it before I speak on it. But yeah, real crazy. Okay, so now he has said that hold on. He has said, let me go to this Epstein witness because I don't want to get sidetracked. Okay. The victims of Jeffrey Epstein's French Connection, the modeling system was a cover for Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking. I can't remember if I showed you all this video, but let's go to it. This was this model or former model that gave an interview about this, and this was quite some time ago. This was probably years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a me, Marcus. You are there for the purpose of somebody wanting to take you home to bed. He is acting as a matchmaker. He's got the agency. He's got the girls. His friends say, oh, Jean-Luc, I'd like to meet some girls, or we're having a party tonight. Can you bring some girls? And what happens if you say no? You don't work. Well, you've actually known.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna let her keep talking. I don't want to be on here lingering on one thing because I have some other stuff to show you all. But let me let this play a little bit more because she's now asking her. Hold on. She's now asking her if she specifically knew, I guess, people who have been threatened or lost their jobs or whatever. This is all crazy. This stuff's been going on for decades. This has been going on for decades. Shirley Temple Black, who was a child actress in the 1930s and 40s, I believe, she even talked about what happened when her and her mom went to see Metro Goldwyn Mayer, okay, for a movie that she was supposed to be doing.
I have known that he has made someone pay a professional penalty for saying no. I know. I paid a penalty for saying no. I was personally proposed to by himself, Jean-Luc, and I said, no way. I laughed in his face, and I had no more appointments, and I never worked. What about the fact that people say when you come over here, you've come over knowing what you're getting into? I mean, everyone knows.
How can you know what you're getting into? How can you know what you're getting into? This was like a foreign country, you know? I mean, I'm from Florida, little city, Pompano Beach, you know? I mean, come on. How am I going to know what goes on in Paris, you know, or Milan? I mean, I don't even speak the language. I don't know anyone, you know? I'm in a new environment, you know? I don't know anyone. I have to trust the people that I come over here with. I mean, I'm naive. I'm young. A lot of these bigwigs at the agencies literally have a scale where in this hand they have your career, and in this hand they have what they want. And your career can go up if they get what they want. If they don't get it, your career goes down.
Many girls ever come to you and tell you that Jean-Luc invites them to parties where he has male friends, and it's clear what the arrangement is when you get there, and that you are expected to be the friend of his male friends. I don't believe that I mean, I believe they said it, but you don't believe it's true? I find it hard to believe it's true. So you've been told I have heard, oh, I'm sure you have. If you wouldn't be asking me if you weren't told that was true. But I like to think that our girls are not treated that way. And I like to think that were that true, I would know it because I've broken off more than one association here in my life. And you'd break it off? Yes, I would. Then I would.
I don't believe her. I don't believe her. Now, here's the thing. Now, that was talking about the French connection. Okay. And those models were talking about France and all of that. So what's interesting is this. As of February of 2026, multiple countries have initiated investigations and inquiries into official reviews following the release of new extensive files concerning Jeffrey Epstein's network of contacts and his activities, particularly in Europe. Okay. Now, who's investigating these things? Well, let's talk about it because Norway, they said the police are conducting a criminal investigation into former Prime Minister, okay, Thorbjorn Jagland for suspected aggravated corruption related to gifts and benefits and are also examining Epstein's ties to other elites. Poland, Prime Minister Donald Tusk announced an investigation into potential Polish victims and possible links between Epstein and Russian intelligence. France, whom was just mentioned in that video, financial crime prosecutors have opened an inquiry into former culture minister Jack Lang, okay, concerning his association with Epstein and suspected money laundering. Didn't I tell y'all that I thought they were money laundering? Didn't I tell y'all that? I think the title on my thumbnail said money laundering. Anyone? Remember, you heard it here first. Okay, United Kingdom says British police are investigating whether politician Peter Mandelson committed misconduct in public office by sharing sensitive government information with Epstein. Latvia and Lithuania, both countries have or Latvia and Lithuania, both countries have launched official investigations into the documents. Turkey, prosecutors are investigating or reviewing the files for allegations of child trafficking involving Turkish children. So even though the United States doesn't want to do a darn thing, they want to sweep it under the rug, honey, these other countries are investigating. And I hope they find where all the bones are buried. More witnesses come forward, and these people are likely going to let them speak. Now, in Sweden, UN official Joanna Rubinstein, okay, by that last name, you know who she belongs to, resigned after it was revealed that she visited Epstein's island in 2012. Wow, isn't that interesting? And her last name's Rubinstein. Okay, I'm sorry, Jeffrey or Rubenstein. Okay, Rubenstein, like Epstein. Some pronounce it Stein, like Weinstein. Okay. Anyway, in Slovakia, Miroslav Lajkak, National Security Advisor to the Prime Minister, resigned after the discovery of emails exchanges with, guess who? Jeffrey Epstein. Investigations or scrutiny are also reportedly underway regarding contacts in the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and Australia. This has started a global firestorm, people. I want y'all to pay attention. Trump can run, okay, but he can't hide from those nefarious Epstein files. Because even though he's trying to sweep it under the rug, baby, other people in other countries are snatching the rug all the way up and looking under it for what they can find. Okay? Please pay attention. All right. The widespread investigations in Europe follow the release of millions of emails, which have caused significant political fallout there, in contrast to a more muted impact in the United States. Muted impact in the United States. Yeah, that's because they're trying to shut everybody the hell up. They're trying to mute us. Okay, they're trying to mute us. I want y'all to pay attention. Now, listen to this. Epstein revelations have toppled top figures in Europe, while U.S. fallout is more muted. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, wait for this. Hold on while this loads. Okay, they're showing ads right now, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Earlier, take a look. It's a memorial for Renee Good and Alex Preddy. This as border czar Tom Homan told our ABC affiliate KSTP that the recent surge in federal immigration
Okay, I thought that was talking about the Epstein files. The article is, I thought the video might be as well. So let me just read to you the article. The huge trove of Epstein documents released by the U.S. Department of Justice has sent shockwaves through Europe's political, economic, and social elites, dominating headlines, ending careers, and spurring political and criminal investigations. Former UK ambassador to Washington, Peter Mandelson, was fired and could go to prison. Hopefully he will. He's the one that I showed you who never was wearing pants. Okay, he only had on a t-shirt and underwear. Freak. Okay. Former UK ambassador, okay, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer faces a leadership crisis on the Mandelson appointment. Senior figures have fallen in Norway, Sweden, and Slovakia. And even before the latest batch of files, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, which is supposedly Prince Andrew's, okay, they took his title from him, brother of King Charles III, lost his honors, princely title, and taxpayer-funded mansion. Apart from the former Prince Andrew, none of them faces claims of sexual wrongdoing. They have been toppled for maintaining friendly relationships with Epstein after he became a convicted ex-offender. Well, that's not a good look. Okay, that's just like those racist people who use the N-word and then they get fired from their jobs. Okay, because they did that on YouTube or they did it on Instagram or whatever on social media and everybody knows. But we all know that the corporations that fire them really don't care about them being racist because they're really racist too. And they only do it because the word gets out. Okay, that's what's going on here. Okay, that's what's going on here. So with that all being said, they only, in my opinion, took Prince Andrew's title because there was no way they could deny that he was not in those files. That picture that he and Ghislaine Maxwell lied for years saying that it was not true, that it was a Photoshop picture, it was proven to be legit. Then let's not forget Virginia Giuffre, his victim. So with that all been said, and then when all these files come out, more information. Okay, so that's why he lost his title, but I don't think he would have ever lost his title had this stuff not come out because I think they already knew what he was doing because I think they were doing it too. Don't y'all remember the rumor years ago? Not even the rumor, the footage of somebody lowering themselves, okay, by a sheet, not wearing any clothing in their birthday suit, lowering themselves out of a window at Buckingham Palace. And it looked like a child. It looked like a child. Okay, y'all remember that? Y'all remember the rumors about Queen Elizabeth and some man, I can't remember who it was, but supposedly going to Canada, okay, years ago, and taking some children or something with them somewhere, and those children never came back, allegedly. Y'all remember hearing about that? I'm sure you've heard these stories. But anyway, here's what it says. Epstein collected powerful people the ways others collect frequent flyer points. This is what Mark Stevens, a specialist in international and human rights law at Howard Kennedy in London, said. But the receipts are now in public, and some might wish they traveled less. The documents were published after a public frenzy over Epstein became a crisis for President Donald Trump's administration and led to a rare bipartisan effort to force the government to open its investigative files. But in the U.S., the long-sought publication has not brought the same public reckoning with Epstein's associates, at least so far. Rob Ford, a professor of political science at the University of Manchester, said that in Britain, if you're in those files, it's immediately a big story. It suggests to me we have a more functional media, we have a more functional accountability structure, that there is still a degree of shame in politics in terms of people will say, this is just not acceptable. This is just not done. So they have morals and we don't in the United States, basically. At least our president doesn't, allegedly. Now, with that all being said, UK figures failed by their ties to Epstein include the former Prince Andrew, who paid millions to settle a lawsuit with one of Epstein's victims and is facing pressure to testify in the U.S., and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, whose charity shut down this week. Oh, her charity shut down? Yeah, it's shut down because they probably were trafficking children through her charity. Because, yeah, that's how they get down. That's how they get down. Okay, so that's likely why it shut down, people. Please pay attention. Now, like others now ensnared, veteran politician Mandelson long downplayed his relationship with Epstein. Well, that's what they all do. Oh, I hate I ever met him. I wish I'd never talked to him. Oh, I didn't know he was this. Please. They all knew. Despite calling him my best pal, or I think they meant best, it says pest, but I think they meant best in 2003. The new files reveal contact continued for years after the financier's 2008 prison term for sexual offenses involving a minor. In a July 2009 message, Mandelson appeared to refer to Epstein's release from prison as Liberation Day. He was thrilled. Okay, he was thrilled. Starmer fired Mandelson in September over cavalier revelations about his Epstein ties. Now British police are investigating whether Mandelson committed misconduct in public office by passing on sensitive government information to Epstein. Okay? This is all just egregious. All these other countries now doing the research, now doing the investigations. They want to know exactly how deep this rabbit hole goes. But before I leave you, let me just show you this. I have muted the sound because they're playing music, but this lovely young lady that I'm going to show you, who looks to be about, I'm going to say 10 to 12 years old, is allegedly in the Epstein files. I haven't seen that file as of yet. I'll look for it when I go back to their website, but I didn't even see this. I just saw this today. So I don't have this file. But this is the little girl right here, the young girl. She doesn't look any older than 13. In some of the pictures, she looks a little older, but she doesn't look any older than 13. Okay? And they said that's a victim. They said that's a victim. Before I close out, this is what I forgot to tell you all also. So this guy on TikTok was doing a video, and he was allowing people to call in and give their thoughts about, I guess it was about Trump and the nefarious racist pictures video that he put out. And so I want y'all to hear what this caller said and how the host of the show went in on him. Okay, full throttle. Please pay attention. Skeletor fan said, what in the John Benet Ramsey is going on here? Exactly. And speaking of John Benet Ramsey, I'm glad you brought that up, because John Benet Ramsey, the same things were done to her. She was assaulted. Okay? She was assaulted. And who did that? I think her parents did it. They always said that they never could find the killer, but I'm going to tell you like this. Who climbs into someone's house in the dark of night and does that to someone in the house? In the house. They would have had to know where Jean Benet slept in that house to go and get her from out of that house. They would have had to know that she didn't sleep on the same floor as her parents. So either her parents had something to do with it, or somebody who knew her parents had something to do with it. Because Jean Benet Ramsey, I do believe, slept on the second floor and her parents' room was on the third, or maybe vice versa. Who would know that? Also, why would the person feel comfortable enough to take her body down, or take her downstairs to the basement, grape her, and then take her life? How would they not feel that the parents might wake up, or the brother might wake up, and somebody come down there and catch them? I think that's because the father did it, and the mother knew he was doing it. I think he accidentally killed her. I don't think he meant to kill her. I think this is just a vision that I had, that the father was doing this to her, and that he put this rope around her neck, okay? Because this is some sort of sexual gratification. I forget what they call it, but when you bring someone to the brink of death by strangling them during relations. And I think it was accidentally that he killed him, but I think he was absolutely doing these things to her, and the mother knew it. And that's just my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong, but hey, I could also be absolutely right. But the question is, who came into that house and did that to her and felt comfortable enough to stay there all that time and doing whatever they did while the parents and the brother were in the house? I don't think anybody would be that comfortable. Because how do you not know somebody's waking up? Also, as rich as those people were, they didn't have alarms on the windows and doors. They didn't have cameras in the house. Maybe they didn't have cameras. That was back in 96, but they didn't have cameras in their house, period. They didn't have any type, they didn't have any type of security system, even as rich as those people were. Nothing. I find it all interesting. Okay, I find it all interesting. So anyway, I want y'all to listen to this.
I'm not going to tolerate racism on this show. Now, if you misspoke and you want to retract, you can go ahead and you can do that. But I am not going to tolerate racism on this show. You just said sir, the only thing that he has going for him is he's black.
Now, this racist, the MAGA devil who called in is talking about President Obama.
That's what you just said.
Yes,
you did. Yes, you did. So either own it or retract.
Let me say what I said. I said when he looks in the mirror, the only thing he could say is I was the first black president.
That's not the
accomplished nothing
okay.
else.
Oh, well, listen. If you don't like, if you don't, well, you keep focusing on his race. I didn't bring it up. You keep bringing up the fact that he's black. And let me tell you something. When Barack Obama looks in the mirror, he probably sees a pretty good looking man that became president of the United States. And you know what, sir? Since you want to bring up race, not me, I think that's a pretty damn good accomplishment. Is that what you think Kamala Harris is too, sir? You think she looks...
Kamala Harris is a bum. She couldn't even win her own state.
Are you a Klan member, sir? Because I noticed you haven't said anything attacking Donald Trump, but you've attacked 2 black people. I'm wondering if there's a correlation there, sir. Do you have a problem with black people? Do you have answer the question? Do you have a problem with black people?
No.
Oh, you don't? Then why is it the 2 people that you've attacked in this conversation happen to be black? You haven't said anything negative about Donald Trump, who happens to be orange or white. You haven't criticized Trump at all. You compared Trump to Obama, which is probably the dumbest comparison I've ever heard in my life. And you said on this show, I'm going to make you famous, sir. You said on this show, the only thing Obama's got going for him is he's black. I think the only thing that you got going for you is your hoodie, is your white hoodie. Why don't you admit you're a racist, sir? Say it on the air right now. I'm a racist and I use the N-word. Why don't you say that right now? No, yeah. You're the one who injected race. You're the one who said the only thing Obama's got going for him is, let me tell you something, sir. You don't have anything going for you. You're crap for brains. You know what? I don't want to keep you on any longer, sir, because I think you're going to be late to your Klan rally tonight. Your racism is showing. You've proven that in this conversation. I tried to have a good faith conversation with you. And how dare you say the only thing Obama's got going from is he's black. Barack Obama's got more integrity and intelligence in his pinky than you have in your whole body. Why don't you admit that? Barack Obama is a brilliant. Don't you okay me? Barack Obama is a brilliant man. I'm happy to have conversations and respectful ones with people that I disagree with. But you are not going to come on this show and say the only thing Obama's got going for him is he's black. That's exactly what you said. You know why? Because that's the way you think. Now, if you misspoke and you want to retract, you can.
Okay, he set him straight. He set him straight. Now, here's the thing. Listen, I forgot about this email. I'm just going to show y'all this, and I'm out of here, this video. I found an email talking about Ivana reporting to French intelligence. It's insane. January 21st of 2026. Okay, somebody has created a searchable database. This is what this lady says. So let's go to her video. Let's go to her video because I haven't seen this email, but this is talking about a French connection, French intelligence. And we just heard what those models said about a French connection.
Somebody has created a searchable database for all of the emails that were released. I'm going to put a link in the comment section or in the captions here. I do not suggest using this tool if you are a survivor, if you do not have mental health accessible to you, because it's very disturbing. There are tons and tons of emails of them just joking about what they could and did to women and girls. And it's quite obvious that even the men who were not directly involved thought it was funny, thought that it was just a little quirky thing that these guys did and didn't mind being involved or being next to these people or doing business with them because it wasn't a deal breaker. But you can go through the emails, you can search whatever you want, come up with put in people's names, put in words, and the information will come up. It just makes it a little bit easier to find things. So check it out if you're brave enough.
Okay. So with that all being said, did she even say anything about French intelligence? Because all I heard was about those files and the link. Okay, and so here's the thing. DJ, the Truth TV says the superiority complex of these male folk is insane. Obama was a whole president. Exactly. Then someone asked, Nene asked, why don't they ever acknowledge his white side? He's biracial. Honey, they don't care. They just see him as a Negro because they're so racist. That's what it is. Okay? And Obama, to be honest with you, is probably one of their cousins because a lot of these presidents are cousins. Okay? If not all of them are cousins. Okay, y'all do know that, right? Once in the chat if you ever heard that before. Once in the chat if you ever heard before that the presidents are cousins. Some of these presidents are cousins. And the fact that Obama is the only black president and Lincoln was mulatto, so they say, or had a mulatto mom or something like that. I can forget. But so y'all have heard that before. Some of you heard it. Okay. So with that all being said, the fact that Obama has a white mother who was Jewish, I absolutely think that some of them might be his cousins. Okay, at least one of them. All right? But they're not going to tell y'all that. They're not going to tell us that. So anyway, with that being said, we'll talk more tomorrow. We'll talk about how the Republicans want to bring back segregation. We'll bring it on. I don't want to be around you racist devils anyway. Please do us a favor. Don't threaten us with a good time. Okay, let's get into that tomorrow. But also, we're going to talk about some more things about this whole Epstein debacle, like I told you all. Okay, and I'm going to make a whole lot of this stuff make sense because I have a whole bunch of receipts. And like I said, I can't show them all tonight. All right, so with that being said, I love you all to life. Hold on. Visa said Obama and Bush share an ancestor. Yeah, I found that out years ago. Okay, I found that out years ago. Exactly. And not just Bush, supposedly. Okay, so anyway, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this evening. And I will see you all tomorrow. Probably, it's 11:18. I probably won't be up in the morning, but I think I'll be live at least by 1 o'clock. 12 or 1. I don't want to be on her too early or too late. I need to get my beauty sleep, honey. Please pay attention. Okay? Please pay attention. So with that all being said, I'll be on live probably around between 12 and 1 tomorrow. Okay, so y'all don't want to miss it. I promise you. With that all being said, I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got